faceless man in the dark.
It looks good. You look good, bro. Hang on. I want to start with this song. Hang on. Here we go. You ready for this? You know what song this is?
We're not going to take
You've heard this song before, right?
Sure.
Jesse,
Wait a
what
minute.
does this song remind you of?
I don't know. The 80s?
There you go. That's closer. That's closer. Any, think of like your childhood, maybe mornings? I guess that's when you may have encountered this show.
Probably not. I didn't watch very much TV in the mornings. Unless it was
Yeah.
cartoons.
I do nothing but watch TV in the morning, so and that's kind of like my thing.
What the hell is this?
Hang on, we're getting to the chorus. We're getting to the chorus.
Jesus Christ.
Take it away. Here it goes. Here it goes. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a relief!
I'm not, yeah.
Look, it goes with my disco ball in Empty Rant Studios 3.1.
Are you excited, Miguel?
Oh, shit.
I'm getting the feeling you're excited.
I am excited. But let me tell you the reason
What
that I
is
bring
that?
is 25. I'm sorry, not 25 years ago. Actually, I think it was 20 years ago. I gotta get my facts. This show
Pills?
aired.
You mean you really are taking drugs?
I need them.
Jesse, give me those.
I need them, Zach.
You Saved by the Bell.
Jesse, you can't sing tonight.
Yes, I can.
And she was part of a group that sang.
Excited.
Oh.
I'm so
It's very dramatic.
scared.
Aww,
Jesse.
Jesse.
I watch
I
this
re-
after school, not in the morning.
I would watch it in the mornings. You did?
Reruns or what?
Yeah, I mean, when it was in syndicated. So I'm reading that it was 25 years ago.
I definitely remember that, and that's what kept me off drugs, Miguel. I owe it.
Well,
to
because
Saved
my
by the
mom watched that. My mom watched that clip and she was like, "Oh, you're not allowed to take any type of like Tylenol or Advil or anything like that." So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Really?
When she found out I was taking, because when I was an undergrad, I would take no dose, which is caffeine pills, and in the long run, kids, if you're listening to this, kids, don't take no dose or any type of caffeine pills. 200 milligrams of caffeine per pill, and they say it's like a cup of coffee. Just go with the coffee. It's natural. It's not synthetically derived, and it's just better for you in the end. Or try some green tea. You know, these are things that I wish someone had told me when I was younger, but I went the no dose route at Walgreens, or if you get, what is it, Waldo's, I think, if you do.
What the fuck are you talking about? Wait, didn't you learn from this episode of Saved by the Bell, our country's moral compass?
I don't know. I was an undergrad. I thought I knew it all. You know, I thought I was like, oh, I know this. Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live my life. So I don't need you. You don't need me. You know. But little did I know that there was a lot of truth into that. So I should have learned from it.
So did you end up crying in the arms of a very handsome Zach Morris, or?
No, I mean that would have been nice. Zach Morris. My wife still thinks he's very attractive. Hey, do you remember that rumor that he had died in a car wreck, drinking and driving, and everybody believed it? Do you remember that?
Nope.
Oh. That was like one of those things. Like everybody was like, "Oh yeah, he's dead." Like, oh no, not Zach, not Zachary.
So, what are you doing here? Is this Geek Rant?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Geek Rant 03. That is part. That's kind of. I don't know if that is. I don't know how Saved by the Bell would relate to being geek and
Oh
nerdy.
no, that's fine. I just want to welcome everybody. I think you just did that, but
Keep saying the word definitely. As I listen to these podcasts, there's certain crutch words I'm picking up on, and I'm like, I need to stop saying that. So I definitely is one of those that I need to.
definitely.
But anyways, yeah. So Geek Rant episode 3. Hey guys, how's it going? We got Tony.
Hello.
Usually. Whoa. Okay.
Hey, calm down.
Whoa,
Keep
whoa.
your shirt on. Okay.
You have to turn the crowd off there. And then we also got Jesse. Jesse up in here. How you doing, Jesse? It's good to see you.
Sup.
Well, it's good to hear you. I don't get to see you because you refuse to turn your webcam on because you like to maintain mysterious, I guess. I don't know.
Maintain mysterious.
Maintain
Because
that.
I'm naked.
Oh, there you go.
Oh. Oh, wait.
God.
Yeah, so if you notice in the background, as I was talking about earlier, I got a disco ball going on over here. We moved into this this 3-bedroom, two-bath house, and we moved in
Nice.
here from a 1-bedroom loft apartment. So a lot of our furniture just looks small and very tiny. Like we're in a tiny people house. Like it was a house.
You know what? That's great for sound engineering, right? For your podcast studio.
Well, I think what gives the studio just that little oomph, that X factor is the disco ball.
Oh, the disco ball. Okay.
If it wasn't for the disco ball, this room would suck. Now you can't tell in the camera, but right here, this is a picture of Dwight Schrute that my friend Jeremiah drew. So, you know, we pay homage to Dwight Schrute, and I don't know.
Rest in peace. Wait, is he okay?
No one's dead.
Oh, well, the show is dead. Right?
No.
Bear Beach Battlestar Galactica.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
It's that long shot. You kidding me? It's like Battlestar who?
What?
So
All
we
right.
moved into this new neighborhood, and there's like the little things that I'm trying to figure out still how to do. So I've run into a couple of problems. Like one is like today I had to figure out do the trash guys come tomorrow or the next day? And so it's just like minor problems that you don't think about because I've lived at home where we burned our trash, and then moving into an apartment, you just throw it away in dumpsters. So coming in here, it's just like a whole new style of living. I'm having to learn these new terms, stuff like that. So I had to read the Corpus Christi Guide to Waste Management or something like that. So I had to look up my zone, and then I found out what day. So it turns out Thursday is my trash day. And then I took both bins out there, and when I was walking back, my neighbor said, "Oh, tomorrow's not a recycle day, only every other week." And I was just like, "Oh yeah, right?" And
You felt like an asshole.
just look around, but yeah, I don't know.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, it's those things. I had to cut the lawn this past weekend. That was a
You
thing.
got a lawn?
Oh, I have to mow this lawn.
Holy shit.
There's a fucking cat that keeps coming around, and I don't know if the previous owners fed it or something, but because it keeps asking for food. I'm just like, get out of here.
It's your cat now.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's cool. We're actually looking for houses in San Antonio. Still not sure what we're doing. But that's awesome, yeah. Is it, it's your first house? How does it feel?
It feels good.
You've accomplished? Wait. Okay, never mind. You're renting, right?
Yeah, we're like renting.
Yeah.
Buying. I don't know. It's like middle ground between the two. It's like, renting for a year. Because I'm still unsure if I want to stay in Corpus, and this is one of those things that you don't want to contractually binded. And they're really cool here. So I told them I could rent it for a year, and then we could look into buying it. But I also like that if I am going to buy it, because I want to make sure I like living here. I don't know, like, I don't know if you guys are just like scared or anything like that. When you think about buying a house, this is something you're like tying the next 30 years of your life to, given that you live there and you stay there.
Yeah.
And the thought of just staying in that one spot without any previous research, it's just like, no. I mean, I need some experience. I want to live here. I want to see how loud my neighbors get through all 4 seasons. And I want to see, I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah.
You need that input. I don't know. Anyways.
That's my fear, is moving into like shitty neighbors.
Yeah, okay. And so, and that was my excuse for not just rushing into buying. And I don't know, maybe we'll move out of Corpus. I hope to eventually move out of Texas. That's just something I want to do.
Oh, traitor. Just
It's not a
kidding.
trade. There's just so much of the world, and I don't want to get weird and philosophical on this because this is Geek Rant, but you know, we find ourselves tied down to one area for an extreme amount of time. You got to think like there's so much of the world. I mean, think about how much the world you have seen. Less than 1%, and of that, you know, you've already lived 30% of your life. If you go by the average male lifespan. It just okay. We're not gonna. I'm gonna start getting weird on you guys, and then you guys are gonna.
What's
Right.
up, Miguel? Why are
Too
you
late.
weird? What's up?
You're
What's
like,
going on in your brain?
that show sucked, Miguel. All right. Okay. All right. Let's get into some pocket headlines here. So, did you guys remember to set your clocks back? Of course you did.
Sure, we have iPhones.
Yeah, no, that's what iPhones are for.
Yeah. Well, you not have clocks on your walls throughout your house?
No, you burn them. Once you get an iPhone, you get rid of all the clocks.
That's stupid. And what about the clock in your car and stuff like that?
That I had to do.
In your pocket watch? I mean, everybody has a pocket watch, right?
Yeah, the little chain. In the pocket.
Anyways, so there's this kid. His name is Ahmed Mohammed, and part of a science fair project, he built a clock, took it to school. He lives in Dallas, but Irving, Texas. Took it to school. He's 14 years old. Entered into the science fair, and basically the police called him. The police were called, came and arrested him, thinking that it was a bomb. So there's still kind of like this post 9/11 hysteria going on. But as a result of all of that happened, let's see, it says the family of a 14-year-old Muslim boy from Texas who was arrested after home blah 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 said that he will be attending school in the Middle East. I forgot. Oh, Qatar. Is that how you say it, Tony? Qatar.
Sure.
Yeah. So as a result of him being arrested, he's visited the White House, he's visited MIT, he's gotten a crazy amount of offers from different schools and stuff like that. And I guess his sound weird? Oh. We got some ambient sounds going on in the background. But anyways, the dad was going on the news, and he said that we are going to move to a place where my kids can study and learn, and all of them being accepted by that country. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Just off the back about the Muslim kid being arrested for taking a clock to school.
Do you see my meme about him?
Was it the one referring about the clocks?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Let's just turn
No. The clock was a bomb after all.
that. Okay. No, that wasn't intended for that. Okay. We're starting here at
Wait,
Rant.
I heard he just took apart a VCR and then put it back. Like, he didn't really do anything. Is that the case?
Yeah, it wasn't for a science fair. He just took it to show his science teacher.
Really?
Oh, okay.
That's why it caused such panic, because there was no warrant for him to bring this to school. Had it been a science fair, it would have been probably not a big deal, but he just built this and felt obliged to share this with his science teacher, and his teachers kept telling him, or that teacher kept telling him not to show anybody, not to show it off, because I'm assuming he thought it would give the wrong impression, and he did so anyways. So I kind of feel like he did it to kind of, I don't know, not necessarily raise panic or scare people, but just for the attention.
He's a high school kid, so of course he's gonna. I think there's some like mischief in wanting to do that stuff. You know what I mean? Just like,
Yeah.
let's
But
do this.
the meme that I posted It said, "Don't forget to set your bombs back 1 hour," and it had a picture of him.
Well, the one I had said, "Don't forget to turn your clocks back," and it just had a picture of him. So it's a little, I guess it was kind of the same meme, but uh, um, yeah. So, and I thought it was about him taking it to a science fair. I thought about it from the stance of the parents, knowing about. I mean, you can't be a Muslim in America and not know about post 9/11 hysteria, and thinking that they did this as this like bigger ploy or in the grand scheme of things to get this kid more offers to show how ignorant America still is about stuff like this. And
That's what I've read, and
is that
it's
kind of
certainly suggestive.
yeah? I mean, why not use that to your advantage? I mean, he got like a full scholarship to a couple of schools, and now basically kind of got like a free ride back home and to this really good school. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know.
We will never know the intentions.
Yeah, so we don't know the true intentions of it, but I bring up science fairs because science fairs have always seemed to have been a big part of my life. Have you guys participated in science fairs? You had something?
I have not.
I did in elementary. I don't think they're as, I guess, widespread now. Back whenever I was in school in elementary, like the science fair was like across campus, like everybody participated. Now it seems more like if you want to participate, you can nowadays. And then science fairs seem to be introduced much later in like the curriculum, I guess now. And I still think it's only exclusive to like science clubs and classes. I don't know.
As you have two daughters, have they? Well, I guess you would be your first daughter. Has she brought up like participating in a science fair or anything like that? Has she had any?
No, not at all. And she's in first grade, and I want to say by even in kindergarten and in first grade, there was some type of little small type of fair.
Mm-hmm.
I think first or second grade was the first time I participated in one.
Uh-huh. Do you remember what you did? Your project?
Yeah. It was not a very strict science fair, so my entry was not science related at all. It was just like a scale model of a house built out of popsicle sticks.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's engineering, man. Maybe you were meant to be an engineer, bro.
Yeah, I didn't really do it. My stepdad did. I just kind of painted like the walls and stuff.
Oh, God.
I remember like class projects where you go through the scientific method. I think that's important for kids. I don't know if they're still doing the whole science fair.
Well, that sets you up for your mind frame in terms of like critical thinking skills, problem solving skills.
Yeah, so I think that's real important.
But I think
the trifold, the thing. I did that a million times in school. So,
that's important, but I think this current age, most parents are shying away from like competition, and everybody's all about equality and stuff. And
that's another thing. I don't know, like that
because you've got like sports teams that don't keep track of scores, so I imagine that's overflowed into like education. So I imagine that's the reason why we don't have any or very many science fairs and stuff like that.
Yeah, some would refer to that as the pussification of America, and how
Pretty
we
much.
are feminizing our males to become equal. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Maybe that's for another argument, but another episode. But
I'm all for competition. I mean, that's what brings, that's how discoveries are made, and people competing.
Even like with to some degree the anti-bullying thing, it becomes this thing like don't say anything mean and nothing mean will be said kind of thing, or don't hurt people's feelings. But the real world doesn't give a shit about any of that. And there's bullying that happens all the time, and you have to learn how to have your feelings hurt, how to bounce back from that and be able to defend yourself, not physically necessarily, but even like it's all about your mind frame and your mental maturity that has to all of that stuff has to happen to you in order for you to be exposed to it. I don't know. I hate using the phrase. You don't know what love is until you feel hate, and hate you don't know until you feel love. Blah blah blah. But it's those emotions that you need exposure to. Otherwise, you're gonna. I don't know. I feel like you'll be walked all over. Like look at Tony. I mean, people walk all over that guy.
Fuck you.
Was he bullied so much, or I don't know. Maybe
Well,
he feel that nobody said anything wrong to him. So when he hears stuff about the dark web, he's just like, oh no, not in my perfect world.
whatever. Um,
I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
I was bullied, but I definitely developed. I would always go along with the joke, or like, I would never blew up about it. I was always took a good joke, but all this is coming out of kid suicides and then kids shooting up schools, so it's all reaction to that. And
That's true.
there's never a straight answer for anything. It's all
Yeah, it's a
gray,
mixture.
I guess. But,
No, I agree.
yeah.
That's what I said. Not in its totality should it be eliminated. I think to some degree we have to have this awareness that bullying may be occurring, and because of, I don't know, I say it's video games. Video games are so realistic, and you look at something like Call of Duty now, and we didn't have that crap when we were like at that age. We had to go outside and play with sticks and shit, and then you got like freaking realistic games that put you in the war zone, and that messes. I mean, you're basically getting kids with this like PTSD because of their exposure to these violent video games. That's what I say. But not just video games. I think it's also movies and stuff like that. And that kind of goes back to parenting, because I don't think it's strictly just because this kid's playing this violent video game, that's why he's a bully at school. I think it may be more like he's being exposed to that stuff too early on he's unable to interpret it properly. So
I think a lot of it does come back down to parenting, even if it is like a third party or a video game that's instigating or instilling those kinds of qualities in a person. It still comes back to the parent, because I'm not real big on like hiding or like shunning certain things, but I know there's a certain point during growth and adolescence that you introduce your child to something. So I've got, like, for instance, my daughter's going through this real bad stage of like night terrors and stuff. So we've been trying to treat that, and it's not easy when you've got a 6-year-old at school that's watched every Nightmare on Elm Street film already and likes to talk about it, to my 6-year-old that's having trouble sleeping. It's just, that's not something. I mean, that's fine if you want to do that in your house, but that's not something I feel is appropriate. And then for that kid to be traumatizing my kid.
how are you trying to mitigate that situation? I mean, because I feel like that's up the road for me.
It's hard because she.
I mean, school and
it's
the influence of
mostly
school.
yeah.
Negative influences from school. I don't know. Would you ever tell your daughter, just be like, no, whenever this girl's talking about this? I don't want to hear it.
So we've tried like not to, because we try not to lie to her, but we make it very clear, that that's all just make believe. But my daughter has a very big imagination, so even stuff like that still finds its way into some type of realism. But it's hard because when we first had her, we were living in like a small 1-bedroom apartment, so she just slept with us forever. And then when we had a second child, we got a 2-bedroom, so now she has her own room, and it's hard for her to transition to in her own rooms. Because she slept with us majority of her life, and then B, because now she's scared to, and these kids at school aren't making the situation any better. So it's been a struggle for the past few months.
Well, I await that long conversation with Costello when we were talking about. I'm sure that's on its way. But anyways, back to science fair.
The one thing I remember doing is I made out of clay. I made just a model of the solar system, and I really enjoyed that. That's the one memorable thing, but that's not really a science fair.
That is science fair. That's science fair. You had to use I mean,
And they each were like the color.
because you had to think about how you were gonna make it, and then you finally carried it out, and then when you're done, you're like, did it come out like I wanted? Could I have done this differently? I mean, that's all part of the scientific method. But did now talking about your little solar model, did you put it on anything so it rotated, or was it just kind
No,
of like?
I think it was just in like a shoebox or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like a science fair junkie, I guess. I mean, um, my first serious science fair. I'm not even going to talk about what I did in elementary because I think those were kind of lame, and I always had to be paired up with someone. And if Brenton Woods is listening to this podcast, you really screwed me over in fourth grade. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, we're going to move on from that. And in sixth grade, it was one of the best experiments I ever did, and I took some.
You peaked at sixth grade.
I like the plenary. I mean, science fair. Like, oh, cool! I get to do this stuff. And I remember reading one of my grandma's encyclopedias and pulling up this thing. I got to the worm section, then I read about planarian worms.
Yeah.
There in San Angelo, I went to Ben Ficklin River, whatever it was, and started moving some rocks. And underneath them, I found some planarian worms. Took them home, and with the scalpel, I cut like their heads in half, and then I cut their tails in half, and you cut them in half, whatever, horizontally, dorsal, vertically. And you would see different parts of them regrow. So you would see like these planarian worms regrow a head, because that's the thing with planarian worms. I don't know if you guys, and you probably see this played out in comic books. I mean,
yeah, Swamp Thing fans will have a fond memory of planarian worms.
Okay. Did he get his regrowth features from a planarian worm, or?
No, when Alan Moore took over the series, he kind of reinvented Swamp Thing, and he used planarian worms as sort of an anecdote to explain how Swamp Thing came to be.
Yeah, so that's what I did in the sixth grade. Ended up going to regionals. Didn't make it past regionals, but I remember thinking, like, if I can do this in the sixth grade, the sky's the limit, not the world's the limit. The world's petri dish. Go forth. But so the next year, seventh grade, we did people that washed their hands and people who didn't wash their hands. We swabbed their hands and then put it on media, watch it grow. I remember having to. So it's almost like haphazard micro techniques, because I remember swabbing these plates and then we just let them grow at my friend's house, and we just watched them grow in his, like, under his bed. We were storing them. So I mean, those are things you would never do in a micro lab that you wouldn't learn until way later. But here we are just swabbing whatever, just like yeah, and then we just kept them under this guy's bed, and then I think the science fair was the following week, and so we pulled them all out. There was just like crazy amount of growth on there, and I couldn't tell you that it was all from the hands because we didn't seal them. But this is all just seventh grade science fair hijinks, whatever. Let me see. In ninth grade, I did rocket trajectory. We shot different rockets with different weights, and then you would.
I think I did that. That sounds familiar.
That's science fair related.
Yeah.
I mean, we did part. So like we would shoot it at a 45 degree. Well, no, we would shoot it straight up, and then you would see where it landed, and where it landed, you took a protractor and measured that angle with the horizontal plane. And so using like the Pythagorean theorem, you're able to estimate how far out it went and how high it went. So using cosine, whatever, all that good stuff.
Sokatoa.
Yeah, Sokatoa.
Or some old hippie caught another hippie token on going.
Nobody remembers it that way but you.
Okay. Let's stop for a while.
Any kid that I tutor, if I told them that long way, they'd just be like, yeah, go fuck yourself, McGo. Be like, oh, okay. How about Sokatoa? Thank you. Write it down in my phone. Anyway. And the last one I remember doing was in the 11th grade in physics class. And I guess it wasn't really a science fair. It was more of, you had the, and I've talked about this a little bit, you had the opportunity to build a ballista, a catapult, or a trebuchet, and my group built a trebuchet. And that thing is still assembled in my backyard. It has like a 500-pound counterweight on it. And we were launching pumpkins, like 2 football fields.
You're pumpkin chunking?
Yeah, pumpkin chunking. There you go. That was last time we played with those pumpkins. But no, I mean science. You talked about the scientific method, and that's one thing I've observed with my child. It's like that's what he. And if anything, we're all born scientists. I mean, this kid's taking stuff, putting it in his mouth, and then he either tries to swallow it or he'll spit it out. I mean, it's interesting, but that's exactly what he's doing. I mean, he's forming a hypothesis. He's examining his subject, and then he carries out his procedure, and then he records the results in his head, and then he interprets the data. And in conclusion, it's like, did I like putting that in my mouth? Did it taste good? Do I repeat it? Should I repeat the study? That's kind of what's going on. I mean, that's what babies do, and we as humans do that. So unconsciously, we're all doing the scientific method. The only thing that when we actually pull that out and we look at what we're doing, the 7 steps, do we become aware that it's called something? For most people, it's just called thinking.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, anyways.
Yeah.
Any more on science fairs? That was kind of my story I shared there. Science fairs. Yeah.
Well,
When
did you win, or what was your greatest accomplishment?
Well, the only one I won was the 6th grade one. I went to regionals,
Okay.
and then I remember winning first in the 7th grade one, but they didn't let us go to regionals. In 9th grade and 10th grade, it was all just internal.
Because you're Mexican.
I guess. I don't know. So I was just like, dog. I remember when I was in the 6th grade and I won this thing. They took me on a bus, went to the convention center. I got to meet all these other people.
Yeah.
Fundings have been cut. We don't do that stuff no more. Just like, listen.
Yeah, that's also sad. Funding for science stuff should be top priority, but
Oh,
Tony, whenever you made your little solar system, did it have Pluto in it?
yes, it did. I remember a little tiny one. I rolled it by hand.
my day.
Yeah, and I think the cardboard box was like a shoe box, black with like little white dots. That was cool.
Would your parents get involved with the science fair project?
Probably, yeah. Well, I mean, I do remember rocket stuff. I think I was always paired off, but I don't have much memory of it. But I'm sure. Also, my mother did work at a education supply store, so I had access to like entire projects that could just be out of the box, or just all the supplies were.
They always have like, the best things, but they're always so expensive.
Yeah.
Supply stores. You remember the Scholastic Book Fair? Did you guys ever attend that?
Yeah, remember that.
And then you'd get to go on the little tour, and you're like, oh, I love all this stuff. And then you tell your mom about it, and she's like, yeah, we're not buying any of that shit. I'm like, oh, okay.
They still have them. My daughter still goes.
Yeah, does she bring home like the whole list of stuff? She's like, I want this, I want this, I want this. I don't know if the daughter's
she brings home a little like printout of the books, and she basically just circles the ones she wants, and then I buy the least expensive one.
I don't have memories of wanting to have a book and ask for it. I think they gave us like maybe a couple tickets, and then we could decide what to do with those tickets. I don't remember that.
Talking about. This is a Scholastic Book Fair, bro. It had Clifford.
I think throughout the year we had to earn tickets somehow, and I think that's what that was.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and there was like, it's just a bunch of books, right, and like little toys too.
Yeah, see, I would always like the powerful magnets.
Yeah, that's stuff like that.
Really need magnets, Mom.
Yeah.
I'd always go straight for the posters.
Oh, really? Sitting on our little TV table, it's one of those silver. It just rocks back and forth. It's two little people made of just metal bars, and then they rock on a swing. And I got it from my parents. I don't know why.
From the book.
it just has a heavy weight, so it swings
What do they
back and
call
forth.
it? It's like pneumatic motion or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't
it's kind of like that idea, but I think for some reason, my little kid brain was like, "Oh, they're my parents. I'm gonna give it. That's what I
funny.
want to give them." But
You know,
now they never did anything with it, so it's mine now.
there was a period of time that I bought like 10 of those things, and it was like wherever I could find one, I would purchase those just because I thought they were amazing. And it's like, oh look, this has the weight going like this, and then you hit up like a random section in Walmart. It's like, whoa, they got all these. Those. Do you remember those things with the different uh, liquids or the liquids of different densities? And so like you turn it one way, and like the blue goes up and the red goes down.
Yeah.
Go everywhere. That was like another thing that was like those are like kids like toys. I don't know. I grew up with. It was just like, oh, cool, like wow, science, science and bubbles, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think we spent enough in the pocket. There's a lot of items here in the pocket. Someone threw a bunch of stuff in here, but Tony has some other stuff to talk. I guess he wouldn't call this a pocket item. I don't know. I still want to play some music into my next section here, which I'm going to go with The Alliance. All right, so this one is, I'm going to pull up this on the screen share so you can see it here. But I don't know if you saw this, Tony, but this has to deal with a Star Wars fan that it looks like he's going to be able to see the movie a little bit earlier than you are. Just because he's dying.
Yeah.
He's a terminally.
I
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I saw this. I think it's sad, like to think, like some guy who didn't make this whole big stink about it. Some big Star Wars fan is probably dying right now, like who's nothing can be done about it. I'm just thinking, like in the whole wide world, I'm sure there's people who are dying who wanted to see Star Wars, but they can't, So, but yeah, so if
by big O stink though, like by big O stink you mean there's someone else out there that's
I'm sure they had to campaign for it, which is fine.
Not as valid to you? I'm just trying to get a good handle on what you mean by.
No, I'm just saying, like, there's people who have died who haven't seen this movie. It is
Right.
kind of the gist of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, what disease would you prefer that he would be dying from that would make it
justifiable?
No, I'm not saying this is good. I think it's a great thing to support. The actors are all behind it. You're misunderstanding me. But so did he agree? I haven't heard the latest on this.
Did he what?
Is there gonna be a private screening for them?
I think it's still just campaigning for it.
Yeah. Luke Skywalker and Finn the Stormtrooper, aka Mark Hamill and John Boyega, have joined an online campaign to let a terminally ill Star Wars fan see The Force Awakens ahead of its December 18th release. Pause. Next month, Star Wars is going to be released. That's kind of...
Dude, it's November. You're totally right.
Remember we were talking about this a year ago? And you still worked with me, and you made this big old stink about Star Wars and this new movie coming out. We're just like, yeah, shut up, bro. And you're like, they just announced it, man. And then you came into my office, and you're just like, I can't even like think right now. There's gonna be a new. Oh.
Well, a year ago in Thanksgiving it was the first trailer. So a year before that they announced it. So it's been 2 years of me
rant about it, but I was like, yeah, I haven't seen anything. And then you're right, they released the trailer, and you're just like, all over everything. And it's just like, okay, get out of here.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
So,
next month?
Let's see. Apparently, he's done this before. J.J. Abrams. When I say he has let a fan watch a movie early before the Star Trek Into Darkness, which is like, you want to waste your Make-A-Wish on that?
For that. That was pretty good. But No, I mean, no, that's good. It's just, what is the deal? He doesn't know if he'll live past a month? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly it. And I imagine that would be. Well, how would it sound if he was just like, well, he has 2 months to live. What if J.J. Abrams was like, he's got 2 months to live, so I don't know what the big mistake is.
Well, no,
Yeah.
they gave him 2 months to live 2 months ago. He's
Oh.
still alive, but
Yeah, man.
they're
He's on the
expecting him to pass any time now.
He's on the brink, bro. And you're over here like, why is he making a big old stink about it?
He has tumors covering 90% of his lungs.
I didn't.
Yeah,
What
Tony.
did I?
Face
Shut
it.
up.
Tony,
I-
no, I'm
this
face
is-
face right now, bro. Have you heard? We talked about this a little bit earlier, but have you heard of the Girlfriend 15? We talked about this.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know
Have you
what
heard of
that
the
is.
Freshman 15?
Yeah.
So like, I'm just curious, man. I didn't know if you become more sedimentary or I don't know.
Oh yeah. No, I've gained weight. Yeah. What are you trying to say?
That's not what I was saying. I was saying
Oh.
you look like you've been working out more, but you're going the
I
other
didn't?
way for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm not working out. No,
I'm at
I will.
50
I'm actually doing a 10K next month.
Oh, have you tried running?
Not yet. I will.
Yeah, you might want to just start with 1K. See how far
Yeah.
you get.
1K, 1K at a time.
1K.
So, but I have to do it to save money on insurance because I'm getting points with my health insurance. So it's I have to I have 2 hours to do
Oh,
10.
gee. Yeah, if you
1,000
can't do
meters.
2K in 2 hours, bro, you got other problems we gotta talk
Yeah.
about.
Oh, K. I thought you said cake.
No.
10 cakes seems better. 1 cake, and let's move to 10 cakes. But
No. But
Okay.
yeah. So
I'm-
the rock and roll marathon actually, it's a big deal.
yeah, man, I was just kidding about the Girlfriend 15, or actually it'd be wife 15. You know,
Yeah, I know. I'm married.
and
Yeah.
you're like, I don't care. I'll let myself go. I told Laura that. I was like, you let yourself go, and she's like, I just had a baby. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Trying to give me shit. I was like, let's go, girl. Let's go.
I apparently got sympathy weight, I think that's what you call it. Because I gained weight whenever my wife had our first kid, and
Oh,
I've
you-
never been able to lose it.
Oh wow.
Sympathy weight, man. That's like a biologically like instilled trait within us. It's
Not
just
really. It's just she's eating a lot and you just eat with her.
Not really, because whenever, and it sounds weird, but whenever she first got pregnant, we weren't really together a lot because we both had like really busy work schedules, so we didn't really eat together. Like I would eat and then she would eat. Like we would eating by ourselves because we were never like together to have like an actual meal.
no, yeah, you were just on alternating schedules.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I was running like crazy every day. I was working out like as much as I
Yeah?
could, and then
Working
there
out.
was
Hmm.
there was just no stopping it. I weighed 130, I think 135 when I met my wife, and now I'm at a good 152 maybe. So
Jeez. Yeah, man. Eh.
What'd
When we
you
got
say?
married, I was 300. I was like pushing 300. And I was like, yeah, I should probably start working out. So, right now I'm sitting at 265, so I feel pretty good. I mean, I was just kind of running every day, but all this beer isn't helping me. So, I don't know.
I imagine.
I think
Beer, and I just lost like 50 pounds like in a week. It's just like, yeah, I was drinking a lot of beer apparently. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about, Tony, was I saw this thing. It says, "The Force Awakens: 10 questionable moments from the final trailer." Did you see this thing?
yeah, I'm sure I know what the whole.
Well, can you explain this? Is lens flare associated with J.J. Abrams? Is that a thing?
Yes, that's a thing. It's been a joke that's ever since he was announced as director. That's the joke. Oh, lens flare everywhere. Like,
Lens flare to J.J. Abrams are explosions to What's his
Michael-
face? Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael
Whatever.
Bay.
Bay. There you go.
Michael Bay. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Star Trek is just littered with lens flares, and Super 8, a lot of lens flares.
Runt.
But,
Okay, so you've already seen this. I don't know who. This girl, apparently her accent is all messed up.
yeah, it's pretty. I liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How about Kylo Ren? Okay, so this is Kylo Ren whenever you're saying Kylo Ren. This is helping me understand.
Oh my God. Okay.
And I saw a couple memes with Spaceballs, the guy with the big helmet, mimicking this guy. So that makes sense because, I don't know, he just kind of looks like that. So is this guy supposed to be like Darth Vader's, I don't know, brother or something? Or
Cousin.
No, well, we don't know much about him, but he's part of Knights of Ren, which maybe is some remnant of the dark side. Because the Sith are dead. There shouldn't be any Sith in this movie, or if
Okay.
anything, it's just a remnant of the Sith. So
Was
And
Stimpy
they
a
both
Sith?
have... What?
So was Stimpy a Sith?
Stimpy, yeah. And apparently they both have sleep apnea because they got these like special breathing
Yeah.
apparatus.
I don't know why. I don't know why he has a mask. But
A CPAP?
Yeah, I was gonna go through all this, but what is this one? Han Solo, the straight man? I like it's a question. It's like straight,
no, that's not what that means.
the straight man. One thing I don't care to go to the rest of these because I don't know. There's just a lot. But
Well,
I would say the
can-
posters.
Do you want to
released-
explain that, or?
Yeah. You can explain it in a minute. But the posters that got released today, I saw that all of them had a. There was always something going over the left eye, and
Yeah.
I immediately, put that to Illuminati.
Oh, why? Is that a thing?
That's just the thing.
It's
It's like
Illuminati
seeing
thing?
eye. It's the all-seeing eye.
Which
Yeah.
one? The right one?
Is J.J. Abrams associated with the Illuminati? Because that would make sense in terms of
That
It's
would
the
make a lot of sense.
rumor that I was hearing.
Is this
No.
supposed to be a trilogy of Star Wars films?
Village.
It's the
J.J.
trifecta. The trifecta.
And it's episode 7.
And look how much mind control it is over people. There's terminally ill people that their dying wish is just to watch this movie. So, MK Ultra, boom.
Boom. That's it.
Okay, please explain to me what Han Solo is. His orientation being questioned?
No, that's not what they're saying. They're saying how in the original, in the A New Hope, episode 4, he is the guy who's saying, ancient religions and hokey. He's talking about the Force and how he's the straight man. The straight man is kind of just the guy in the audience who doesn't believe all this bullshit, and so.
The skeptic.
That's sort of his role in the first movie, and now he's like, "Oh, I was wrong. Like it's all real. All the Jedi, the dark side, it's all real." So that's what they're referring to.
Santa Claus, he's real. I saw him.
Yeah.
Santa Claus. Something like that, right? I want to do one more. Maybe we'll just skip over this. We got some other stuff to get to here. Let me play some heroes here. So, part of this episode, you know what we're supposed to do, right?
What's that?
No.
We're supposed to
Do geek stuff?
raffle off a Bill Nye book.
Oh.
The 50 people, Jesse, Mr. No One's Gonna Like Our Facebook. One of the 50
No.
people that have liked our Facebook.
50?
Yeah, 50.
What?
Okay. Since
Because-
we were at 30 and then when I announced the competition, 20 people magically liked our Facebook. I'm just saying,
Wow.
we got 20
That's
likes. That's pretty good.
I didn't say you wouldn't get likes. I said you
Yeah.
wouldn't get comments and responses and
Doubted us,
and trivia questions that you wanted to do.
How are we gonna choose this lucky person?
I was trying to, Jesse, you've done this before. How do I do the randomized number? How do I? Is there a website you use? Randomized number generator or something?
Yeah, you can just Google one, but I do mine hard copies. I just print out the names and put them in a hat. Because
Okay.
people are always seem weary of the automatic like name generator ones. So
I'm literally doing this right now. So,
Drum roll, please.
I mean, if people don't want to, like it or whatever, that's fine.
And this is the book for people who weren't here last time. This book was breathed on by Bill Nye.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah. No. It's undeniable. What are you talking about, man?
What? Yeah.
It's called
By
Undeniable.
Bill Nye, and Bill Nye
Yeah.
breathed on the book.
Yeah, the book, man. I mean, what are you talking about? Okay.
I'm trying to fill the dead air. So I'm saying the book that you took to get signed by Bill Nye, and he was contractually obligated not to sign it.
Yeah,
So-
man. Look, oh, you know what? Hang on one second. I want to show you something. Hang on.
Okay. Oh shit. Hey Jesse, what's up? Hey, this is Geek Rant. Did you see the Warcraft trailer? That's pretty geeky.
I tried
It's
to.
like-
It's like a
epic.
teaser, like a 15-second one, right?
Yeah, it's like it'll come out Friday. So
I saw the posters. I haven't seen. Oh yeah, the
It's
full-length trailer's out.
yeah,
Friday.
it's not out yet. So
Yeah, I haven't seen it all yet.
What's
yeah,
this?
no big
Here,
deal.
pick this up.
Oh, holy shit! We're looking at a picture of Miguel
Yeah.
looking very comfortable.
Dang,
It's not
framed
awkward
and
at
everything.
all.
I don't look comfortable. I'm just like,
I know.
this is super awkward.
It's pretty awkward.
Yeah,
Like,
so
Oh, is it like a mat or is it like an actual frame?
it's a picture put in this like paper frame.
Oh
You're not
my
gonna
God.
put it on a legit frame?
I can. I don't know if I want to. I don't know.
I
Laura,
know, what do you do with that? It's like a full body shot. Like, look
Yeah,
at
that's
his
kinda weird.
shoes and his knees and,
be
and his shoulders.
like,
Bill
make
Nye.
Make sure you know who Bill Nye is today. Man, I don't know. I still got a bad taste in my mouth when we talk about it right now.
So maybe you don't want to frame that up so you don't have to see it, or because it's a constant reminder.
Yeah, I might not.
Maybe just slip the picture in the book. Mail it off.
Oh boy.
Hey, do you need me to get you a random number? What is going on?
No, what I need right now is a way to compile a list of people who have liked.
Just
You haven't copied the names?
No, I had a list going, and then I don't know what happened to that. So there has to be like a way of getting a list on here. I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Does this work? I don't know. Do you
Well,
guys?
I don't know.
Anyways, speaking of framed celebrity photographs, I threw that family photo with Stan Lee in the middle of our living room family photos.
Yeah?
And it looks legit.
Oh, man.
Like he's part of the family.
Okay.
With-
I got what we're gonna do, guys. All right.
Did you
That's your-
Instagram this?
Random number generator here. No, I'm just gonna. People can watch the episode if they want verification. We're not doing the whole Jesse Ultra verification method. So let's see. We got we go from 1 to 50 because those are the numbers we got here, right? And then this is supposed to just generate a random number right here. So it looks like number 2.
What? I am number 2.
So we're going to the very beginning of. No, we're gonna pick the second to last person. Yeah, that works out for me, so I don't have to scroll down this whole damn list.
Oh my God. This is real official, guys.
This is really official.
No,
And
but I like that. The newly signed up ones should be. Yeah.
do I have a drum roll? Is this a drum roll?
Does that work?
And winner of the Bill Nye Undeniable is Miss Jennifer Honeycutt. Boom. Like that.
Congratulations, Jennifer.
You win an unsigned copy of Bill
Unsigned copy.
We will have that delivered to your house. And maybe I'll put a nice little note in there or something. But that's what I wanted to do, especially for this episode. Anyways, I want to get through that. I want to take an opportunity to shout out to Mr. Tony Hasso, who has joined the Empty Rant crew as a blogger. So shout out to him. You can follow his latest post on our blog. It's called Just the Tip by Tony Hasso. And he gives, it's the everyday man's tip for the everyday man. No, it's everyday tips for the everyday man.
How long are these?
They're pretty long. So, blog.
Okay.
Guy likes to write.
I thought it was a little. It's a blog. Okay, I got you. I thought it was a podcast.
No, he's a blogger.
Oh.
Types it up, man.
Oh, that's good. A long blog. It's exciting.
I mean, that's what he does.
So we have a website.
Wow. That's
Why don't
Tony.
you plug it?
He's part of the Geek Rant. So that's at emptyrant.com. Visit Tony Hasso, and the rest of our previous content is on there. Also,
you never promote our website. How are the listeners supposed to know?
I feel like they just know, you know?
Well, I had no idea.
Okay.
No,
Anyway.
I probably knew, yeah.
All right. Segue. That is so nice. Okay. So I want to get a game in before we end this, but I want to make sure that I have. Well, you know what? We'll play the game. If you guys want to cover more material, then you let me know. How's that sound?
Deal.
Okay. All right. So let's get a little game show going. You know what that means, Tony, right?
Damn it. I never know what it means. You're always asking me what it means. I have no idea what's going on.
This is what we're calling our new round of Is it so, I started laughing. Is it bad acting or is it a porn?
No. Is that what we're doing?
Dude, I want to bring this game back. I miss it. And
Yeah. It's back by popular demand. You got people ranting and raving out there.
I've been writing in. I've received numerous letters in the mail. And it's getting to a point where we're needing like a whole file system to get going to categorize the letters, because some of it's hate mail, but most of it is just
I
like,
want porn or bad acting.
categorized. And we were thinking about like alphabetizing or maybe even going by regions, and then we break it down. But that doesn't matter. What matters right now is that we are bringing back the game to Geek Rant, and I hope you guys are okay with that, because whatever. Bringing it back. Okay, so are you ready for your clip? I only got one clip this round. You ready for this?
Roll it.
Okay. Here we go.
It's a big day, huh?
Yep. Really excited about taking your daughter to the prom.
Yeah, well, Nadia will be around just in just a second here. Nadia!
What are you doing?
Look at that. Doesn't she look wonderful? You lucky dog, you.
Any guesses? Bad acting?
That's just great acting. I mean, what if it's good acting? What's our option? Like, does that mean it's a porno or not?
Wait, that would just mean...
That was really good. Like, I felt...
You made the rules of this. I'll keep playing it, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the answer to your questions.
Beautiful. But I got you.
Beautiful. What did he give her?
It's a
His
croissant.
dick? Oh,
Not a
sorry.
croissant. A corsage. You know, those things they put
Oh.
on the hands.
Dad,
Right?
let me show you it.
Was it wrapped around his dick?
No. They're going to
look.
prom.
Oh.
Now they're kissing
Mhm.
before they go to prom.
Daddy, I want to get my cherry popped.
Yes, dear.
What?
Off your chair.
JJ.
Why
Be
is
careful,
this
that's my daughter there.
Okay, then it weird to some 90s weird 90s segue there. Okay, so was that porn or bad acting?
I'll go with porn.
Yeah, Miguel. I mean, this has got to be
But
porn.
I played it a little too far, but it was pretty good because you were confused at the beginning. That's what I'm gonna say, and it was going the way of like a typical prom date would go until the dad stepped in and made these weird suggestions of that how he should be kissing her and stuff like that. Look, I want to show you the clip here because this is what's happening in this weird transition, and they use this weird '90s. See this thing? And that's part of the actual like movie. Why they did that, I don't know.
Oh, it's a YouTube video. They added.
I went back and looked up the source file and identified that this was from the actual footage. This wasn't
Oh, really?
doctored, so I'm just saying. Why they go through the different colors like that, it just makes weird. But he's basically telling her, like, be careful with her, because that's my daughter.
That was pretty obvious, though. I don't know many dads who would introduce their daughters like that.
Oh, goodness. All right. So, yeah, that was... We'll get better at these. This was kind of a lame clip. Now you made me feel like...
Well, I mean, you did. I was playing along, but you did put it on Pocket, and I did watch it because I saw the word.
Pocket, and the
I
one
saw the word porn, and I don't know.
Okay, the one time that so those of y'all that don't know what the Pocket is that we're referring to, it's where I throw all the articles in and stuff like that, and you can actually find it on our website, emptyrant.com. There's your plug.
Oh, and a website.
And Tony never looks at the articles we have in there, and for some reason this time decided to actually look at it. So I commend you. Thank you for actually looking at it. I appreciate it, but yeah, you kind of cheated. So whatever. Tony, I'm gonna give you another segue here. Hang on. Oh, that's really low. We gotta get this louder here. Hang on. And I want to end probably on this. Tony, you have a lot of Metal Gear Solid stuff in here. I was gonna let you get a little spot here because you have. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, have you ever heard of the series?
Not
really.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, it's been a big part of my childhood. It's like the first game I really fell in love with. But no, the recent game, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, has been out for a while. I actually just been playing it nonstop, and I got to the big ending that everybody's freaking out about. I guess I won't go into it here. But yeah, there's always a twist to all the games, and this one was pretty epic. But just one thing that was pretty cool. So this game's theme overall is sort of just nuclear weapons are bad. You know, the developers, Japanese, you kind of get that with a lot of Japanese developers. Like, you know, Godzilla is kind of just an allegory to just against nuclear weapons and destruction of mankind and whatnot. So.
Wait, are you saying nuclear?
Nuclear.
Okay.
Nuclear. I said nuclear.
Which ones?
Nuclear.
One's bad, one's good.
Nuclear.
One's George Bush, and then the other one is politically correct.
Yeah.
Is how the rest of the world says it.
Yeah. No, I
Okay.
said nuclear.
Okay, W. Continue with your story.
Yeah, so the game actually allows you to develop weapons of mass destruction. And
Nice.
nuclear weapons. And it offers you perks for the game because you have like your own army force, and so everybody around the world is developing nuclear weapons. And you have a choice to develop weapons or not, and you can actually go to other people's bases and stop them from developing their weapons. So it's actually been uncovered through data mining of the code that there's a video that you can unlock where if the entire server you're on gets rid of all the nuclear weapons, then it's kind of like peace on Earth. There's that you've accomplished getting rid of the last nuclear weapon, and it's just kind of cool to think of a worldwide event like we got to stop all these
Right.
nuclear
Right.
weapons. So it's kind of crazy.
That sounds
But
pretty. It sounds like a game I'd get into. I should look into it more.
yeah, the gameplay is amazing. The story is just so deep and convoluted and insane, and so. But I it goes all the way back to a game from the 1980s because it first came out in like the MSX, and then the first big hit was PS1. So the story is just all ties in together, and it's just this crazy technical espionage action is what it's billed as, and goes in real deep. Like you probably like it. The Illuminati pretty much is this AI that's just kind of been unhinged. All the people who created it are just dead, and so there's this AI that's monitoring the whole world pretty much, and with unlimited funds. So it's kind of crazy spy stuff like that.
What is so? J.J. Abrams has nuclear weapons. Is that
What?
what?
No.
He's part of the Illuminati. J.J. Abrams
Well,
using these nuclear weapons.
maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe his worldview, or just in the grand scheme of things.
Anyway, but
When did you start? When did you start playing Metal Gear Solid? I mean, obviously, with the
it
first
was a lot of fans maybe remember this. It's a Pizza Hut demo. It's a game. The Pizza Hut game. I mean, you go to Pizza Hut and you get a demo of Metal Gear Solid 1, and you play through like the first mission.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we played that over and over. Yeah, it was pretty popular. Even you remember that too?
Yeah, but I didn't remember it. Okay, yeah, I just had this moment where I tied them together because I remember playing a game like that. I was like, oh, that is Metal Gear Solid. Okay, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty your man. So that was like a lot of people's first exposure to that, and that first game was just blew every game out of the water. No game has had that cinematic approach to it, and that's just why I love video games, because that game. So, but yeah. So this newer one, it's pretty much the last one in the series.
Yeah.
They are thinking of developing a new one without the director, the acclaimed director that kind of created the whole series. Because I don't know, they kicked him out for some reason. It's stupid. The company whose profits doubled this year because of that game, they want to just invest their money to mobile games and pachinko machines or something like that.
Okay.
But so yeah, this is weird story whether officially he's just on vacation. Hideo Kojima, the director I'm talking about. Hideo Kojima is just on vacation, but there was just all this talk about he was fired, and it's a whole mess. But
Okay, I saw you post that, and I actually saw some other stuff about that come up. Like, where's he been? Where is he? Is he asleep? Cave?
yeah, so he's probably just on vacation, enjoying it. But
Yeah, chilling. Okay, yeah, and that makes sense. You run into that with the different contracts, stuff like that. And remember, because you can't work for another company until your current contract runs out or something like that. I don't know
yeah.
if that's the case with him, right?
No, I don't even know. I think there's just some disagreement, and maybe to do with this game actually was kind of unfinished. Maybe they went over time and over funding. I don't know.
I thought it was that he can't work for somewhere else. I thought he actually quit, but
Oh.
he can't work for somewhere else until that contract runs out.
Well,
He's on vacation.
oh yeah. There's no telling. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
read that.
I mean, but the company owns the game. He can't own Metal Gear Solid. So
Jesse, did you have any favorite video games that you played growing up?
Yeah, on
Tetris. I could see you being a Tetris.
Nintendo, it was Donkey Kong Country and Smash Brothers
Smash Brothers.
and
Yes.
Perfect Dark. And then Xbox came out, and I was fascinated with Halo up until I got rid of my Xbox console. I've never played a PlayStation in my life, so.
Nice. Yeah, I have an Xbox. I keep playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and I'm not even like really playing it. Maybe I'll do a mission every other month, but mostly I just log on. I'm not logging on. I just turn it on and I put in the cheat code, and then I just go around killing people, running people over, and then I just get out. More like a de-stressor. I'm just like, brah, brah. It's about me? You want to talk about me, son?
There's
Anyway.
there's a funny comedy bit from this comedian named Kumal Nanjiani, and he talks about how he has the advantage in games like Metal Gear Solid and Call of Duty because he's Middle Eastern, and he's always talking about how he knows the layout and he knows like what buildings to go into, and he knows like where. So he's always like playing like live, and he's like, "Come over here, guys. You know, my uncle can hide us and stuff like that."
That's pretty funny.
That's really weird. Yeah, actually, in the current, I mean, he's Pakistani, I don't know, but the current Metal Gear, you're in Afghanistan most of the time. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, hey, man. We're pretty much coming up on an hour here. Do you have any last minute things here that you want to talk about?
Friday, watch out for the Warcraft trailer. That'll be pretty intense.
Okay. Definitely load
Friday.
that up. Jesse, any last words?
No, but if you like podcasts, you should listen to episode 13 of The Last Page. Me and my buddy Renee got together and we did a good 2-hour podcast, so that's on emptyrant.com as well.
Yeah, one of the best. I had fun producing that one, and there was a lot of content on that. I'm trying to get better at my intros, though. I'm just having fun with those. The only thing about the show is, I don't know if people know that if they made it this far in the podcast, but post-production is only done for the intros and the outro. Other than in the middle, we try to do it all live so that, I don't know, we all got time limits. Well, I should say I have time constraints because other than you guys, not that I don't appreciate you guys showing up every other week, for your hour and wasting your breath on me. I do appreciate it. But, yeah, it takes a lot of time to do some of this stuff. So, anyways.
Appreciate it.
We're doing some shout-outs. We're doing shout-outs on... Oh, yeah, no problem. But this is like fishing for a compliment. We've been doing shout-outs at the beginning. At the we've been doing for different podcasts. And so, yeah, patronize the people that we're shouting out to because they've been friends of the podcast, and I'm sure they'll continue doing so. Also, I think that's it. Yeah, that's all I had. EmptyRant.com for all previous content. Check out Jesse's stuff, and then hit me up on Twitter. Also, congratulations to Jennifer on the undeniable...
Jennifer Honeycutt, right?
And all the 50 people that have liked our Facebook page. We're going to get Facebook famous one day.
Congratulations.
Nice.